Hey, tonight we're stepping back, way back, to a time of pottage, plagues, punishments, and people who thought bathing opened your soul to evil spirits. You're waking up in the year 1325, and you're not a knight, a king, or even a merchant. You're just a regular person. You're a medieval peasant. You think you can survive a day? Let's find out. But fair warning, it starts badly and gets worse. Dim the lights. Maybe grab a blanket. This won't be a fairy tale, but it will help you fall asleep. Let's begin. You wake up, groggy and stiff, in a one-room wooden hut. Your bed, a pile of straw crawling with bugs, slightly damp from last night's rain. The smell, a bold mix of goat, mould, and a hint of someone else's feet. There's no privacy. Your entire family, plus livestock, sleeps within arm's reach. Your cousin is coughing, the chickens laying eggs in someone's boots, and the morning light is creeping in through holes in the thatched roof. The church bell rings. That's your alarm, loud, relentless. No snooze button. You're 22. That's considered middle-aged. You step outside barefoot onto the muddy ground. Why barefoot? Because shoes are rare, and yours fell apart last harvest season. You make your way to the bathroom. A bucket behind the hut, already filled to the brim. You hold your breath, do your business, then toss it into the street. That's not weird. That's just how it's done. Toilet paper? Nope. Maybe moss. Maybe a rag. Maybe just nothing. You say Gardeloo to warn the streetwalkers below. But no one ever moves fast enough. Inside, it's time for breakfast. You sit cross-legged near the fire. There's no table, no chairs, just a bubbling pot of something. Beige. That's pottage, a sludgy stew of grains, root vegetables, and whatever scraps were found yesterday. It's been simmering for a week. New stuff goes in. Old stuff never comes out. It's not delicious. It just exists. The bread beside it could double as a weapon. It's rock hard, made from barley flour mixed with sawdust or ground acorns. And you drink beer. Yes, beer. Even the kids, because the water will give you parasites. Time to get dressed. You own one outfit. It's made of coarse wool. It itches, smells like smoke, and hasn't been washed since the last rainstorm. And even then, it only got cleaner by accident. Underwear is a luxury. Socks, a myth. Your clothes are stained, stiff, and layered in misery. But it's either this or nothing. You scratch your shoulder. Fleas. Again. Everyone has them. Lice too. In fact, your friend down the road named the ones on his neck. He calls them the lads. You try to smile. Bad idea. Your teeth hurt. They're rotting. There's no toothbrush, no toothpaste, no floss. If you're lucky, you chew a mint leaf. If not, you just keep living with the pain. Toothache? Try yanking it out with pliers. Maybe the blacksmith has some. Your breath could knock out a cow, and your gums bleed every time you sneeze. But nobody judges you, because theirs are worse. Bathing? Once or twice a year? Maybe. If you do it more often, people get suspicious. What are you hiding? They ask. Now it's time to work. You're a peasant. That means you don't own your land. You just work it. You plough with a wooden hoe. You scatter seeds. You carry water. You pull weeds. All day. In the sun. In the mud. In the cold. Your hands are cracked. Your back screams. Your knees click. And you don't stop. Not unless you want to starve. Your lord doesn't care. You owe him taxes. In grain, in labour, and in whatever dignity you had left. There's no weekend. Just Sunday Mass. And even then, you might be working afterward. Let's talk about the weather. Winter, you freeze. Summer, you sweat. There's no insulation. just wooden walls with holes and a thatched roof that leaks every time it rains. In winter, you sleep with all your clothes on, under a damp wool blanket, and still wake up shivering. In summer, the house becomes an oven. There's no fan, no breeze. Just stale air, sweat, and the buzzing of flies attracted to yesterday's pottage crusting in the bowl beside your bed. Feel sick? Good luck. Medicine is based on balancing your humours: blood, phlegm, yellow bile, and black bile. If you're feverish, they'll bleed you with a knife or a leech. You might also be prescribed crushed beetles or a herbal purge. If none of that works, well, clearly God's punishing you. There are no hospitals. Just hope, prayer, and a barber shop where the guy cutting your hair also pulls teeth and sets broken bones with a stick and some rope. Antibiotics won't exist for 600 years. Germ theory? Never heard of it. As the sun sets, you stumble back home, blistered and aching. It's time for dinner. Spoiler, it's pottage. Again, if it's been a good day, you might get a turnip, maybe a scrap of cheese. Meat is rare, saved for holidays, saints' days, and bribes. You gnaw on some stale bread and drink a little more beer. It's warm and flat, but at least it won't poison you. The fire crackles. The room is dark. Your sister's snoring. The dog's licking a pot. You close your eyes. You're exhausted, but not asleep yet. You lie down again on your straw mattress. It's still damp. There's no pillow, no privacy, no clean sheets. The fire has died. The air is cold and still smells like feet. You shift slightly, and something bites you. Again. Your cousin coughs. Someone mutters in their sleep. A chicken rustles in the corner. This is peace. This is your reward for surviving the day. But wait. You're a woman? Then everything's even harder. You probably got married at 14. You've likely already had a few kids, with no doctor, no midwife, and no medicine. Just a bucket of water and someone screaming, "Push!" Your job isn't just the fields. It's everything else. Cooking, cleaning, raising children, spinning wool, baking bread, and pretending you're fine. If you speak out, you're a nag. If you know herbs, you're a witch. And if your husband hits you, well, that's just marriage. Even in a world of universal suffering, women are expected to suffer. Politely. Every part of your life is wrapped in religion. The bells ring 3 times a day for prayer. You attend mass, you fast, you confess, you tithe. You try not to sin, but spoiler, you're always sinning. Think an impure thought? That's a sin. Forget to kneel at the right time? That's a sin. Eat meat on the wrong day? That's heresy. You can't read the Bible. It's in Latin. Only the priest can explain it, and you'd better not question him. Hell is real, vividly described. Eternal flames, lakes of fire, pitchforks. Honestly, it might be nicer than your hut. Justice? Also medieval. Steal a loaf of bread? Lose a hand? Gossip? Meet the scold's bridle, a metal muzzle strapped to your head. Accused of something? Prepare for trial by ordeal. You might be dunked in a river. If you float, you're guilty. If you sink, you're innocent and dead. Executions are public entertainment. People bring snacks, hangings, beheadings, burnings. You could be next for a rumour, a debt, or looking the wrong way at the wrong person. This isn't chaos. This is law. You probably won't live past 40. Infant mortality is brutal. Nearly half of all children die before age 5. If you survive that, you'll break your back by 20 and lose most of your teeth by 30. Injuries get infected. Fevers kill. Winters starve. Plague wipes out entire towns. If you're lucky, you get buried in a shallow grave with a quick prayer. If not, you become part of the street. South, how'd your day go? You survived bug-filled sleep, a bucket bathroom, stale bread, tooth rot, 6 hours of field work, suspicious stew, and possibly public humiliation. But you made it. Tomorrow, you get to do it all again. So next time you complain about slow Wi-Fi or soggy fries, remember, you could be throwing your waste out the window and hoping it doesn't splash back. Good night, traveller, and thank your ancestors, because you would not have lasted a day.